Do you have any resources you recommend to help people either grow personally or grow their businesses?
It's a good question. Any resources? One of the things that like, and this is just like reading, I guess that I do, but like subscribing to like Term Sheet and The Hustle and these kind of various email newsletters about business. Like it's amazing how much you can learn from reading, short snippets or stories on strategies that other categories are doing that apply to you. I mean, there was one about how Subway was talking about the $5 footlong, and although that campaign was crushing it for Subway as a brand, their franchisees were losing tons of money. And so although that we're not selling sandwiches, like that was a learning lesson that I got. This was well before we were thinking about franchising. I just remember the story because it was interesting in that newsletter. But now I can recall that article I read and use it for, hey, let's not have our $5 footlong equivalent for our Laundromat franchisees. So just these like very short, quick, digestible newsletters that are business strategy oriented. So like a Term Sheet was one of them. And then The Hustle is another one that I really like that has those kind of engaging, interesting stories that help me think strategically, regardless of the category of business it's in.
Yeah, I like that. And I feel like we don't get enough of that recommendation and recommended resources segment, but like looking outside of our industry and looking for principles to apply, and while maybe the $5 footlong may not apply to a single mom and pop laundromat owner, there's other stories and other contexts where, and I do this all the time. I pull in stuff all the time from other, YouTubers or who are doing business different ways, or blogs or newsletters, or, these kinds of things where you're doing basically case studies and pulling in principles that you can apply in the context of your business. So I love that. Great.
Well, I think something, I'm sure like this gets said a lot, but like, again, the network and the network. And again, like my mom had always said to me and my brothers growing up, like, you don't ask, you don't get. And I had a professor at Wake say, something very similar. It was like, reach out thoughtfully to people that you aspire to be or to learn from, and you'll be surprised just how willing they are to spend their time with you. And so go look at what you believe are the best laundromats in the country. They've got 1,000 5-star reviews. I bet if you thoughtfully reach out to that owner and say, hey, I'm a laundromat owner across the country, huge fan of what you're doing, would love to buy you. I'll send you a Venmo for a coffee, or I'd love to just pick your brain for 30 minutes, over a video call, and I guarantee you they'll do it. And so whatever it is, ask out thoughtfully, whether it's in industry or out of industry. Again, there's a lot to learn from those adjacent businesses. Maybe it's a car wash operator in your market that's just a powerhouse, great operator. Everyone loves that location. I'm sure a lot of what they're doing can be applied to your single laundromat store.
Killer advice. I love that. And I love the word thoughtfully reach out. I get unsolicited stuff all the time. For me, I'm sure you do too. And, if you get the same kind of thing over and over and over, and it really doesn't provide you any value, you're less likely to respond to it. So be thoughtful in the way that you reach out to people. And especially, the bigger they are, the more successful they are, the more thoughtful you should be. So awesome.